Three major commodities, corn, wheat, soybeans, all closed in the red on Friday. The prices of oil and fertilizer, they've been climbing over the past year. It's only become worse since the start of the war in Ukraine. We've been talking a lot about farming here on Morning in America and the impacts of the Ukrainian conflict on prices of food and other commodities. John Boyd Jr. is a fourth-generation farmer. He's been farming for nearly 40 years. He's also president and founder of the National Association of Black Farmers. Thank you so much for being with us, John. Give us all a picture of what it costs to operate your farm today as opposed to a year ago.
Well, and thank you for having me. Things have really doubled from last year. The prices of fertilizer have pretty much doubled. The price in diesel fuel, and depending on what region of the country you're living in, is $4 and $5 a gallon. These are prices that have doubled from last year, and these are upfront costs for farmers. So a lot of people don't understand how it works. So we have to pay for these things before we actually sell the actual commodities. Mm-hmm. And the consumers, the American people, are going to feel the pinch in the coming months. And the effect of the war that's going on now in Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine, a lot of people may not understand this, is a huge exporter of wheat, corn, barley, some of the major commodities. And when you take those acres and production out of the loop here, someone is going to feel the pinch when you have those particular food shortages coming in the coming months. So right now, it's a really trying and troubled time for American farmers here.
Well, and it's interesting. President Biden predicting that there will be food shortages as well. And in no way am I minimizing the plight of the American farmer, but wouldn't it be something, somewhat of a silver lining, the fact that there is more demand for these products that we're not going to be able to see come out of Ukraine because of the war that's going on? So that's actually going to help some farmers?
I think it will. Those farmers who were more prepared last year, many large-scale producers have already bought their fertilizer and seed. They buy those after harvest time in November. Many black farmers don't, like myself. We're pretty much buying seed and lime and fertilizer and diesel fuel right now as we need to use them. And that's a lot of the difference between a small-scale farmer and a large-scale farmer in this country. So Americans need to understand how that works as well. Many black farmers right now are struggling with their farm operating loans from USDA, where we haven't had those things in place, and we're struggling with a debt relief measure that hasn't reached $5 billion in aid that have not reached black and other farmers of color. So we have our own troubles here in America too, but we also need to put more pressure on that particular region in the country. How can one man, a Russian president, Putin, cause all of this hardship? Look at the families this man has displaced, the men, women, and children he's killed. And you pretty much took a whole country out of circulation. And in this aspect, we're talking about food and the farmers that he's going to displace that will not be able to plant a crop in that region of the country because of the war. And that's what's going on. So when you're not able to plant, farming is very time sensitive. You have to be able to plant on time and harvest on time. And those farmers will not be able to plant based on the ongoing war in their country. So you're going to see a lot of food out of circulation this year.
Some food out of circulation, some food will be more expensive, but in much greater demand, which will hopefully be a stimulant, an economic stimulant for America's farmers and farmers around the world. John Boyd Jr., thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.